Sue was a Vietnamese student studying in Singapore. Sue felt very strange and alien to everyone when she went there because she didn't understand the slang and wasn't familiar with the English accents of Malay, Chinese, and others. Sue was depressed and missed her homeland. So she sat down and wrote, "Home, Vietnam, Vietnam," on a piece of paper. Suddenly, one day, Sue picked up a notebook whose owner's name was Ariel, a native Singaporean. A group project idea was written in that notebook. The owner of that notebook was a boy, and he returned to the location where he dropped it to find the notebook, where he met Sue. Sue didn't believe the person who claimed to be the owner of the notebook at first, because Ariel was a girl's name. Finally, Sue asked Ariel to present the idea written in the notebook. Then he could do it, and Sue believed and returned the notebook. Ariel left with an uneasy feeling because it took some time to argue with Sue. Sue also felt sorry for Ariel and wanted to do something to apologize to him. On the occasion of International Friendship Day, Sue decided to give Ariel a gift as an apology. Ariel had a gift for Sue on the same day, and the two people's gifts coincided by chance. Incidentally, Sue and Ariel had a pair of stuffed lions. It turned out that Ariel had known Sue before. The two had met a few times at school, and Ariel noticed Sue because she had a sad expression. So he had been watching Sue ever since. Sue and Ariel have grown close since then. Sue was told by Ariel that if there was anything she didn't know or understand, she should just ask him because Singaporeans are very friendly and straightforward. Ariel instructed Sue that Singaporeans would agree by saying yes, and if they refused, they would politely say no. Sue heard and asked Ariel, "Why do you have the name of the mermaid in Walt Disney?" Ariel explained, "That's how we name. I also have a friend named Michelle, which is the same name as US President Barack Obama's wife, and a friend named Batman. Such naming is acceptable in our country. That's okay." Sue's roommate was also a Singaporean, but her name was difficult to pronounce. N. Ariel then taught Sue how to pronounce Chinese names so she could read and remember people's names, and her relationships have improved as a result. Ariel also stated that the professors here were very friendly and that she should not be afraid to ask them questions. Sue was shy on the first day, so she asked Ariel to accompany her to the professor's office. Sue realized the next day that Ariel was correct. The professors there were very easy to get along with. As a result, she was able to meet professors on her own, and she even could confidently argue and present her point of view in class with professors. Sue tried and made a lot of effort in Singapore. She always had a good sense of compliance with the group ground rules when she was just a member of the group. The group worked on a group project together in class. Her roommate, N, violated GGR by not responding to messages, contributing little to the group, and being late. So she was reprimanded by the group and required to write an apology letter to the group. Ariel asked Sue, "Have you ever violated GGR? Can you work well in the group?" Sue proudly said, "Of course, I follow well. I am Sue." Ariel said, "Well then, you should try to promote. Always remember to obey the GGR well so that people will have a positive impression of you, want to work with you, and you will improve." Sue was then elected as the group's leader, and she performed admirably in that capacity. Ariel congratulated her and invited her to go out for dinner. When Ariel went to the restaurant and ordered in Chinese, Sue said that every time she went to eat alone, she always pointed with her fingers at the food she chose because the professors, students, and officers there could use English well, but the salespeople couldn't because they were mostly Chinese. They only understood simple English words like having here, take away, 1, 2, 3. Ariel immediately taught Sue how to communicate when buying, selling, and eating in Chinese. Thanks to that, Sue's eating and shopping were also became easier. Ariel also showed Sue how to reserve seats in Singaporean restaurants, which was to leave a tissue paper or anything on the table to ensure that no one else could take their places, a practice known as chop. Ariel stated that Singaporeans placed a high value on the elderly. At Ariel's home, Ariel's grandfather was the oldest. As he was the most respected, his opinion must be heard and respected at all times. There were benches for the elderly on trains and buses in Singapore. Michelle, Singaporean, a friend of Sue and Ariel, hit people due to a misunderstanding. He had a very good way of apologizing by publishing an apology with the following content. Apology notice. Name, ID, number. Sincerely apologize to you for hitting you on date. Sue found it strange. Ariel said, "This is one of the Singaporean ways of apologizing. However, keeping a calm attitude and controlling emotions are still the most important things." Sue became accustomed to Singlish thanks to Ariel. Sue gradually grew accustomed to Chinese and Malay people's English accents. Sue's communication skill improved, and her relationships improved as well. Sue was advised by Ariel to apply for the position of head of a school club with confidence. Ariel advised Sue to remain calm and confident before taking the entrance exam, and he sent her a letter through the 2 secret box as well. "You will, without a doubt, pass. I have faith in you." Then, when Sue entered the exam room, the debate was very tense. Sue had to go through the exam parts, introduce herself, and show her orientation for the club. Ask and answer questions from other candidates and answer questions from the executive team, and finally resolve the problem. Sue passed the first exam smoothly. With simple questions, she took a deep breath and paused for 5 seconds to think about what she wanted to say. When faced with difficult questions, she politely said, "Excuse me, can you give me some time to gather my points?" To request a few moments to think, then write a summary of what she needed to say in under 2 minutes. The final exam was the problem-solving part. This is the most stressful part. The candidates are invited out. The room must be completely silent, and the candidates wait outside. When someone comes out to guide you in, you can enter. Each person will enter. The next person will wait for someone to call them before they can enter. Sue was almost the last contestant, and when the judges let her in, she was reminded to look at the paper on the desk and do it. Sue entered the room and discovered a blank piece of paper on the table with the words, "You have 3 minutes to solve this problem." Sue looked around to see if the paper had any words on it. She also suspected that the paper had fallen, so she looked around, behind the big screen counting down 3 minutes, below the judges, and the audience watching. No one answered. Finally, Sue said, "I don't know what the problem is, but if I have any problems during the time I work at the club, I would try my best to solve it." When the person who came in after Sue read the paper, he said, "Please allow me to go to the restroom," and then he left. After 3 minutes, he returned. Sue later discovered that it was a question designed to test her ability to think quickly and work under pressure, as well as to deal with unexpected situations. Sue received the exam result 1 week later, and she was the winner of the club president selection that year. Later, she discovered that the previous year's winner had smashed the desk, pointed directly at the judges, and shouted, "I request the selection committee to respect the candidate," before returning to his seat. That year's winner was none other than Ariel. She grew to like and admire him even more. Sue and Ariel exchanged letters through their secret box near the day Sue returned home. Sue missed for Singapore and her friends when she returned to Vietnam after 4 years of studying abroad. She has always followed Singapore. She was saddened by Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's death, rejoiced in the Lion Island's 50th National Day, and shared joys and sorrows with Ariel and her Singaporean friends as before. Unconsciously, she felt nostalgic for Singapore. She took out a piece of paper and wrote the words, "Home, Singapore, Singapore." Looking back at the paper, she wrote, "Home, Vietnam, Vietnam," 4 years ago. She realized that both Vietnam and Singapore were home because her beloved ones were there.